Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, so we're getting some crash vibes. Talked about, I think around 20 to 30, maybe even a little more, cryptocurrencies in our member live stream. I mean, there was really no bullish setup and the trend is still down. Most of them need, I think, another low or look like they need a bit more downside. That's very much in line with the preferred interpretation for Bitcoin, where this wave 4, a lower wave 4, is very, very likely, possibly a test of the $75,340 level before we see the next larger recovery. Do we absolutely need that one more low? No, we don't need it, but it seems to be the most likely outcome. Just like one more low based on the microstructure, actually. And that would also be, I mean, it would not be too bad, because if we get another low for Bitcoin here while holding $69,144, well, it would allow the price to start an upside impulse afterwards, because the rally after the 11th of March low is only in 3 waves. Yeah, so that means a very fragile structure, it's corrective. So any low could really be the last one in this support area before a larger bounce occurs. And yeah, that could trigger a 5th wave rally to the upside, right? To round about 130K. Or it's just going to be a corrective bounce. But either way, a bounce from this region is expected. Not yet. As I said, on the smaller time frame, in the smaller time frame analysis throughout the weekend, another low is expected. So let's say the mini crash we see right now in the altcoin sector, and the downside on the Bitcoin chart is not really a surprise. Let's take a look at the shorter time frame. Here we see a breakout to the downside from our triangle pattern. Earlier today, I provided here the update, the written update to our members. At this stage, another test of resistance is possible, but lower prices remain the most likely outcome, or the more likely outcome for Bitcoin, yeah? And that was here the pathway lower in the 3rd wave we have been watching for. So nobody should really be surprised that we get this move down. And that was sort of the message over the last few days, yeah? So everybody was hopefully prepared here for lower prices. Do we really get complete follow through? I'm unsure about that, but definitely there is no confirmation that a substantial low is in place. And with that break to the downside of this triangle we were tracking, it is quite probable that we are now moving down here in this 3rd wave. Now, it is important to understand that, and I tried to explain that in previous videos, it is important to understand that this move down might not be a third of a 3rd wave. It might be a C wave of wave 3, right? If, for example, assuming the yellow B wave really topped here on the 24th of March, this here is an ABC structure in wave 1, then it would be an ABC structure in wave 3, and we get a wave 4 and an ABC in 5, and that could be it, yeah? So I'm not saying we need to get all the waves in the microstructure here, because this here really looks more like a 3-wave move down. And then A and the B wave could have been the triangle and the C wave down. So that's why I added this blue zone, which is a Fibonacci target zone. It's between 77,644 and 73,559. At least this is where I'll be watching for this 3rd wave to potentially complete. Yeah. So trend seems to be down. We had a breakout to the downside from the triangle. The price reacted here to this Fibonacci support level, but I can remove that now. The idea was, yeah, yellow count most probable. Pay attention to this zone here for then a start of this 4th wave before we go down in a 5th. Now, I explained in a video on Friday, I think it was on Saturday, that the NASDAQ, the NASDAQ is already kind of down here somewhere, right? And that on Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to watch for a 4-5 pattern on the NASDAQ chart. I explained that also in the NASDAQ video I provided on the More Trading Online channel. I think it was Friday or Saturday. That information that the NASDAQ is pretty much already down here. So Bitcoin might just be catching up and could then bounce together with the NASDAQ and get one more final low before the larger recovery is unfolding. So this is what we are tracking. Trend is down locally. What would now change the view that the local trend is down? Well, it would have to break above the last swing high at least. Then we can reinterpret this. That would be a break above 83,780. That would potentially change something, the last swing high. But for now, it's following the forecasted preferred scenario. Of course, I mean, you can't rule out the white count, but again, that is still not preferred, and it doesn't really give me a very clear microstructure here to the downside. White count is short-term bullish. Without a clear 5-wave move up, I can't make that the preferred interpretation. So yellow remains the preferred interpretation. And focus is on lower, especially against that 83,750 level. So it should give you all the levels to watch, especially here the next support levels. But overall, nothing has changed in terms of structure and preferred scenarios. Yeah? That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.